I fucking did it. Oh, fuck, it was all me.
Brunch. Hit it, boys.
It's a happy Monday in sunny Massachusetts. How about that weekend, Pete?
Oh, what a weekend it was.
It was
a weekend. A whole Saturday and a Sunday.
Oh, boy. Well, we had Saturday, which, by and large,
was
was
after Friday.
For the boys, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Always.
I had a good Sunday. I went to Portland yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
I went to church. It's a God's day.
You know what used to be fun? In school, whenever there was one of those made-up days that aren't real, like Pi Day.
Yeah.
Raising your hand, and the day before Pi Day, when they're like, hey, don't forget, tomorrow's Pi Day, you raise your hand and be like, oh, that reminds me, I won't be here tomorrow, I have to go to church.
My family is a big Pi Day family. It's really big tradition in our family. I can't come to school.
How many things of pi can you recite?
3.14, and then I don't know anything after
Really?
that. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that you'd for sure have me. I have 3.14159.
Ooh, nope, not for me. Fucking nerd.
There used to be, so did kids used to go around from class to class and recite pi?
No.
What
What school did you go to?
A pretty good public school.
Congratulations.
But it was a public school.
Not
So
to
it was
brag.
just like, if you were good, it was because you pulled up your bootstraps. A kid used to go around, and this was a kid who was an athlete, not necessarily a good student. He would just fucking, like, if he applied himself, he was good at shit. And he would just go room to room, and he would spend his Pi Day just rattling off like 300, I don't know, digits.
Jesus
parts
Christ.
of pi.
Do you think that kid's still doing that?
No.
Just in the workplace? Is he a professional pi reciter?
I don't know what knowing pi. I think
get you in
they're like applications of pi or something, but just knowing pi means that you can memorize shit, which
Right.
isn't necessarily pi. You know who I bet knows a lot of things of pi? LeBron James.
Why do you say that?
Because that one time he remembered what happened in the basketball game that he had played 10 seconds earlier, and it was very impressive to everybody.
And then immediately after Game 4, he remembered that his wrist was broken or sprained. And he immediately had to get a cast on it because he just remembered.
It was pretty much. That's what it was. Pretty much broken.
Pretty much broken.
Yeah, that was the prognosis. But yeah,
I think that is the worst thing LeBron's ever done.
No, the worst thing LeBron's ever done, I rewatched the fourth quarter of Game 7 of 2016 Finals the other day, and obviously what that was, the last few minutes was tie game, nobody scoring, Kyrie hits the three right in Steph's face, boom, Cavaliers win. Amazing shit. And after, I think it was Doris Burke was with him, and she was like, LeBron, how do you feel about this win? And he's like, I fucking did it. Oh, fuck, it was all me. Oh, shit. And I know that a lot of people get on LeBron because he just says I a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Like, he never says we.
He's very self-centered.
But there, when you watch it, you're like, holy fuck, this guy really has no grasp of what just happened.
He is, I like LeBron. I think he's a fantastic player. By all means, probably a really good person. I've never met the guy, but he seems like he's got his head in the right places. Yep. I would want him on my team. I want to root for LeBron, but man, that guy has no self-awareness sometimes.
Right.
Especially, it seems like that's picked up in recent years too, especially with his social media presence, where he's always congratulating himself. He's just posting his own fucking highlights on Instagram. He has a really weird, very narcissistic view of himself.
But here's the difference between us and a lot of sports media. We're like, yo, isn't it awesome that LeBron's only problem is that he is just fucking lost when it comes to understanding everyone's place? That's so not a bad thing compared to what the bad things can be with celebrities and with professional athletes. It's like when people get on Tom Brady, they're like, "Oh, does he care too much about TB12?" I'm like, he doesn't beat people up in his spare time, right?
Right.
Yeah, cool, fine.
Right.
Yeah, let him do that.
In the NHL
let him
right
wear
now,
Uggs.
They're discussing the potential of bringing back Slava Voinov like that is just unthinkable. And then you look at LeBron, and like LeBron's obsessed with himself, sure.
Yeah.
But also, LeBron's got a pretty good reason to be obsessed with himself. He's maybe the best basketball player of all time.
LeBron and I always give Kanye a pass because I think that Kanye clearly can't understand other people because they aren't exactly like him.
Yeah.
They aren't the best at what they do, and they aren't constantly being creative. And I think that he doesn't understand how somebody could A, not be the best at what they do, and B, just be okay with the fact that they're not the best. Like, he probably looks at all of us and he's like, you fucking wimps. Yeah. You all just fucking settle. And that's why he comes off as such a dick.
The difference
also,
there,
he's crazy.
The difference there is I don't think Kanye... Yeah, well, he's definitely crazy. I don't think Kanye's the best anymore.
Yeah.
And so you lose a little bit of... like, people are less willing to give you that sort of personality and let you get away with that when you're not pumping out the best of what you can do. And LeBron is still, like, I think, the best player in basketball.
Yeah. So, nice little weekend. Portland, Maine on Sunday. I think I went to the gym on Saturday.
Ooh, did
Not
you?
to brag. Yeah.
How did that go?
Pretty good. What did I do? I probably did the Stairmaster for a little bit, and then I just did various lifting things, and then I hit the sauna to sweat off whatever muscles I could have grown.
That's awesome.
Are you not supposed to do that? Are you not supposed to do the sauna after you lift?
No, I think you can.
I think that I know that like lifting guys judge people who run after they lift. They're like, you're sweating off whatever progress you made, and I'm like, it's just it's not about fucking progress. It's about combating the shit that you do when you're not at the gym.
I love the sauna after a weekend, like to sweat out all the toxins. Yeah. It's the best. I spent the weekend actually in Aruba.
Nice.
Yeah, so good for me.
How was the plane?
What goes up must come down. So,
ooh, nice.
I made it. I'm here.
Nice.
Which
could
have been a lot worse.
Yeah. Did you do a?
I'm actually in Aruba right now.
Yes. Did you do a playlist? A book? What'd you do?
A book. I bought a bunch of books. I spent $100 on books last week at Barnes & Noble, and I would be shocked if I finished any of them.
$100 real dollars or $100 Barnes & Noble
$100 real dollars.
Wow.
I'm not a frequent flyer on the Barnes & Noble program, so I spent $100 real dollars.
My mom
15 of which came from a book that I already bought but lost.
Wow. My mom, everyone gives my mom Barnes & Noble gift certificates. I think that just like when you hit a certain age, that's what people think you want. So whenever I'm going to Barnes & Noble, I call my mom, and I'm like, yo, Mom, break me off like 60 Barnes & Noble dollars. And she's like, yeah, chump change. Here you go.
That's amazing.
She's probably sitting on like 10 G's of Barnes & Noble gift certificates.
Once you hit a certain age, there are only two gifts that you can get. It's Barnes & Noble gift cards and a plot of burial land.
Yes, or... people give old people chocolate, which is funny.
Which is really mean because at some point, like if you're old enough, you just can't eat chocolate anymore.
Yeah, that's true. But like the idea of just giving someone like, I don't know, here's some fucking candy. Because chocolate's great, but chocolate's just candy.
It's like, what do you get the person who has everything in the world? What do you get the person who's going to die soon?
Yeah.
Chocolate.
What would you get somebody if you knew it was going to be their last birthday?
Something that I could use and take over like within the year.
It probably would, assuming they don't update their will, it probably would go back to you, right?
Yeah.
You paid for that shit.
Yeah, right. You still got the receipts. Hold on to those receipts.
Yeah. You'd be like, yo, Mom, here, and I'm going to stop using my mom as the hypothetical here.
Yeah, that's pretty dark.
But being like, hey, I don't know, person in my life, here are some cycling shorts in my size.
I need another pair. You're 92, but
yeah,
you got to extend that life. Cycling's great.
In case you ever want to use them.
Hey Gramps, I know you don't know what the internet is, but here's a $2,000 MacBook Pro that I think you might get the hang of if you really dedicate yourself to it. And if not, I could use one.
Yes. So it's password protected with my password.
Yes, you can access.
And I'm sorry, it's just it's a security thing. I can't tell you what it is. So you're gonna read books on this vacation, and
here's what I did.
What?
I bought the books and the Audible companions. I don't
really?
know. I don't know if that's something that you're supposed to do.
I don't think so. You're not. I don't think you're supposed to look as you listen to it. No.
I like that. I've enjoyed it so far. I like seeing it and having it being read to me.
So would you? I'm not doing this as like, oh yeah, would you do this? I'm just asking. Would it interest you to listen to a song while looking at the lyrics?
Yes,
that could probably be beneficial. Yeah.
I do that sometimes.
I always have to pick whether or not I'm listening to the lyrics or not.
Right. I actually brought this up to you last week. You didn't respond to my text, but I told you that I've been into the 1975 recently.
Oh yeah,
and they
have
a song.
Girls.
They have a song called Girls.
Yeah.
The only reason that I looked up the lyrics because they are the most fucking British band in the world.
Yeah.
It is so obvious. Like, it's difficult to understand a lot of the lyrics.
They've got a lot of Kate Nash going on where you're like, I thought that the accent's supposed to go away when you're singing. How come you, for some reason, are indecipherable?
I looked up the lyrics to Girls, and I'm pretty sure that song is about statutory rape.
It's definitely about associating with and probably having sex with
a girl who is under 18.
Young girls.
Yes.
Yeah. So, not amazing. Shout out to
Great song.
Shout out to Bruno Mars for copying those lyrics, but really cleaning them up with Young Wild Girls.
I don't know if I've heard that song.
You know Young Wild Girls?
I don't think so.
It's awesome. It's just about how young wild girls are going to be the death of them. Actually, it's like that Keanu Reeves movie where the two girls come to his house, suck his dick, and then ruin his life.
Accuse him of raping them.
That is, you seriously have to watch that movie. I was going through, I was on Hulu looking for anything to watch the other day, and one of them was that movie, and I was like, no, not again. That movie is fucked.
I gotta watch it. Your synopsis of it was fantastic.
We got to have Eli Roth on and be like, what's going on there?
What were you thinking?
Why'd you do that
cry
movie?
For help?
Yeah. And one of the girls in it is his wife.
Right. That is a very weird dynamic.
So very weird. I'll say this on the books thing, though. It actually kind of bums me out, and this is probably wrong. People are going to disagree with this. When someone's like, oh, man, I can't wait to just go on a vacation and just relax and read. I'm like, fuck, man. My idea of going on a vacation is going and living.
Yeah.
I want to talk to people I don't normally talk to. I want to I want to be fucking drunk near people I don't normally talk to. I want to see shit I haven't seen before. I appreciate wanting to relax, but vacation-wise, I just use that. I just sleep more.
Okay. No, I mean, for me, it depends on the kind of vacation. Like, there are definitely different categories of vacation. There's travel, which is very different than vacation.
Yeah, because that's like you're
travel
like
is
doing
fucking
shit.
work.
Yeah.
You're going. Like, that was when I went to California, we went from San Francisco to LA, and that was over the course of a week. We were going the entire time.
Yeah.
That was fucking travel. This one, going to Aruba for a week, because I'm already here. In Aruba for a week, so it's I'm gonna be on a beach a lot. Like, there's not a lot to do on a beach. I get bored on beaches.
That's true. Well, beaches are trash. We've discussed this, right?
Yes, for
beaches
sure.
Stink.
Yes.
Beaches stink.
So, like, if I get bored on a beach, there's not a lot you can do. Reading books is a good option. Also, I'm a kind of person who fancies myself somebody who should read more, or I want to read more. I want to be a guy who reads books.
So, like, when a movie's coming out, you could be like, "Oh, fuck, I'm excited for this because I read that book."
Well, yeah, like, knowing the story, I don't want to be the guy who goes, "Oh, the book was better."
No, but just being like, "Oh, I've heard.
I know what this is." Yeah, and so I would like to be a guy who is knowledgeable enough to have some books under his feathers and his caps. But like, when I'm home, I always just want to be doing other shit.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be, I'd rather watch a TV show. I'd rather watch a movie. I'd rather play video games. I'd rather just fucking browse around on Reddit for fucking 2 hours. There's so many more things that I'd rather do than just sit around and read a book at home. So when I'm on vacation, I try to crush that shit when I can.
Yeah, I actively, in my normal life, I actively try to get away from watching TV or being on the computer or being on my phone or whatever. But I definitely wouldn't consider myself a reader. I've read a lot of books, but I only really read nonfiction. Like I only read biographies, and I could not tell you the last novel I read. Fiction. Yeah, like I honestly couldn't tell you, but I've read a million different fucking biographies of musicians and shit like that. That piques my interest. But I mean, if I'm sitting on the beach, I'm just as likely to just listen to an album I really like than to do whatever. I think the last time I went to the beach, or one of the last times I went to the beach, was a couple years ago, and I just sat there and listened to Frank Ocean's Orange when it had come out, and it was great.
Yeah,
what
that's
a fun time.
Too.
Yeah.
I understand the whole nonfiction thing, because my mindset sometimes when I'm like, I should read more, is like, I should get some more knowledge, some deeper knowledge about things that I care about. So like, I'll read a book about like somebody's biography or whatever, and find out things about them that other people wouldn't know, unless they read the book. So I get that. I also bought a sort of like a motivational book. And I bought it for like the purpose of the podcast. Yeah. In terms of being like, all right, let's kick this shit into gear, and let's find some new ways to get this thing pumping.
What I've long considered reading some sort of book like that. What is it? It's do you know that guy Gary V?
No. He's like an Instagram like motivational speaker or whatever, and he's like very social media based. Gary Vaynerchuk or something like that. I've seen him all over the place on social media, and so this is like a social media focused sort of motivational, like get your brand, get your business off the ground sort of deal.
So that went from being a very exciting thing to me to being like a, oh man, because I
very much am. It's wary. Half. Yes, I'm very much half. Maybe I'll learn something. Yeah, and very much half like, let's see what this fucking douchebag has a book about. Yeah, but I did. So before I committed to it, like I looked up some of the reviews. Mm-hmm. The reviews are unbelievable, and there's like a lot of celebrity testimonials to it. Like The Rock gave a nice testimonial towards this guy. So I decided to give him a chance. I am very skeptical because a lot of the stuff that he posts on social media is cringeworthy.
It's like shit that you wouldn't want to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, and it's also like a lot of basic sort of motivational stuff. It's like cut the negative people out of your lives. Yeah. And like, not reinventing. It's
like, well, I'm pretty good friends with one of their friends, so now what do I fucking do? How about that? That's a very basic, common problem that has just totally trumped your whole fucking thing.
So it's sort of a hey, maybe I'll learn something, but also a morbid curiosity as to what this book contains.
I've long been interested in reading some sort of book that's like, not necessarily like Wedding Crashers, Don't Kill Yourself books, but like...
thought you were going there for a second.
No, but just like, I don't know, books that...
make you feel better about
yourself. That can like help your frame of mind, certainly help you be more motivated in certain areas. But then I'm like, I don't know. There's been a lot written about the Beatles that I have not read. So I read that instead, and then it's great. I know so much about the Beatles now. Whenever I talk to somebody about the Beatles, they're like, oh, did you know blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I'm about to fuck this dude up. And then I just fucking bury them.
I'm sort of nervous when it comes to reading this book because if it's bad or if it's cringeworthy, I'm going to feel really bad about myself.
And you might not go back to books.
You're right. I'm just going to feel really bad about myself for feeding into this guy's bullshit. Yeah. And that would be an ultimate you played yourself moment. Bought a motivational book and then ultimately just felt way shittier about myself.
You know what book you should have gotten? Great motivational book. Darren Rovell's book. You should have gotten that.
Is it, what's Darren Rovell's book? Oh, the Gatorade book?
No, it's like How to Be Good at Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's like How to Be Good at Twitter by Darren Rovell. I have 1 million followers.
Oh, God. If I want to find out how to be good at Twitter, pretty low on the list of guys that I would consult.
Did you see the tweet that a guy tweeted before the NBA draft last night?
No.
It was like, and here we go, like the late Heath Ledger.
Yeah. Well, that's the guy who tweets, "This is March." like every day of March during March Madness.
And is he serious?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's tweeted that Heath Ledger quote like 3 times.
Oh, awesome.
Like the exact, he's a big copy paste.
Oh, yeah.
The same tweets over and over and over and over again.
Nice.
So I thought that was pretty funny.
Here we go.
It was
Heath
like
Ledger, who's dead.
Yes. The late Heath Ledger as the Joker from the film The Dark Knight circa 2008.
Yeah. Terrific. On the topic of movies, we saw a dinosaur movie.
Yeah, but one thing that we need to get to first is Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande, because
we fucked up.
We did not complete that conversation.
Yeah. Big time fuck up. We were discussing what we think of them, and I was like, honestly, ain't a damn thing changed. Ariana Grande, more talented than Adele. You shouldn't be allowed to be sexually attracted to her. Pete Davidson seems likable, not necessarily good at anything to my knowledge, but cool. Glad they're in love. It freaks the fuck out of me, but whatever. Let them do what they're doing.
Yeah. So the reason that I brought it up on Friday, and I got some thoughts out on it, which was like I'm rooting for them because they seem like nice people. But also, slow it the fuck down and stop being so obnoxious. Well, I didn't say stop being so obnoxious.
Right, because we hadn't gotten to this.
We didn't get to that. They are being very, very obnoxious about their relationship, especially on Instagram, especially on social media, which is very weird for Pete Davidson, because Pete Davidson is the kind of guy who has said many times in the past, like, I hate social media. It's all just negativity. It's all just bullshit. It is, the most fake narcissistic, fake life thing in the world. And all of a sudden, Pete Davidson is like the ultimate basic bitch on Instagram. Like, this is his first relationship ever, which is wild to me because that guy has been in serious relationships. He dated the girl Carly Aquino, and then he dated Larry David's daughter, Cassie David, and so he's been in 2 serious relationships that have gone on for a while, and he has not done all the blubbery social media posts, and now he is all about it.
Yeah, so he posted a picture of Ariana Grande lying on the grass with the caption, "What the actual fuck," with the heart eyes. And Seth Rogen commented, "Guys, seriously." And Pete Davidson responded, "At Seth Rogen, when you're getting married to the hottest girl in the world, you tell me how you'd act."
Ugh. I know. And Seth Rogen, thank you for your service, because somebody needed to fucking say it. And it is just so
that is
fucking
very
obnoxious.
cringeworthy. The idea of saying that shit publicly,
yes,
like, it's one thing to think like, man, I think that this is the most beautiful girl in the world,
right? Like,
and she's
confiding
all
in
mine.
your best friend.
Like, oh my, like, what a wonderful, beautiful thing. But being like, bro, I'm marrying the hottest girl. Had to do it to him, bro. Like, oh.
And our pal Tyler County on Twitter made a fair comment, which I hadn't really thought of in terms of this context, but like, he was like, hey, what could go wrong? Things always seem to turn out well when you're marrying somebody based off the fact that you think that they're the hottest person in the world.
Yeah, that's a weird one to weigh at the, like, I'm not going to get into the whole, like, what's most important, looks, personality, compatibility, and everything like that. But when you're that overt about, like it's just physical beauty, like, not amazing.
And also, like, when it's Ariana Grande, makes me a little uncomfortable. Like you said, you're not supposed to think that she is an adult,
Pete,
basically.
Post something of you guys doing something where you're laughing together, or something. When I say Pete, I mean Pete Davidson. Where you're laughing together, or something where we can see, like, man,
like they
those two have
a
connection.
Yeah,
because
all the pictures that they have posted together are kind of like weird and awkward.
Really?
Yeah. Like they I think the first picture that they posted of with each other was at Harry Potter World, and they were both in Harry Potter robes, and I don't think either of them was smiling. Pete Davidson was wearing a hat that says "I love you," which is fucking weird, because that was like a week into their relationship. He posted that picture, and like, that makes her look like even more of a child.
Yeah, I think that I'm downgrading Pete Davidson from I like him, but I don't know if he's good at anything, to pretty good chance I don't like him. Or I'm at the very least, I've always kind of been indifferent to him. I'm a notch below indifferent, and I can't imagine the arrows pointing up. I think that it's only going to get worse.
I heard that he was just recently on Fallon talking about the relationship, and apparently that was
terrible.
Apparently that was very embarrassing as well.
Did he Tom Cruise it?
I don't know. I haven't watched it, but I heard that it is. We might have to drop in some audio or something here if it's as bad as people are saying it is.
Did you know what's weird? Whenever someone, the thing of athletes jumping out of the pool.
Yes, yeah.
That's like the athletic version of the Tom Cruise thing.
That is sort of true.
Yeah,
you don't have to jump on a couch,
but did he jump back? I think he jumped like backwards onto it, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pretty impressive feat from him. But yeah, I went just from seeing that Instagram post, I went from being like, let them do what they want to being like, I definitely don't like Pete Davidson and relax guy.
I still think that I like Pete Davidson, and I'm still sort of rooting for his happiness.
Of course. I'm rooting for both their happiness.
But man, just fucking tone it down a little bit. It's so obnoxious.
Yeah.
And like, God, I don't know. I can't figure that guy out, like, at all.
If they break up, if anything happens with that relationship, he's going to lose his mind. Yeah, because he has put his entire life into this now.
And it's been so short of a relationship that I wonder if she's even seen him, like, at his worst. Because he's obviously had his fair share of issues. Of
course, yeah.
And so I am honestly curious if, like, they have made that commitment without seeing each other at their worst. And I can't imagine that they have, because it all happened so quickly. I think it was like less than 2 months.
Yeah.
So that,
and I don't know, 2 months
is really problematic if you make that commitment without seeing the other person at their worst.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like a huge. I know that when someone's courting somebody, they maybe won't put all of their weird shit out there, but they'll try to kind of dress themselves up to be a little cooler and nicer,
the best
and more
version of themselves,
right? But I'm pretty just for the sake of not wasting time. Like within knowing me for a couple weeks, you'll know that I'm like at the very least like just a fucking different cat, and I want the person to know that, because I don't want to.
Why are you wasting your time?
Totally right. Like if I can't. What if I'm?
That extends to like the first date for me. Like I'll maybe put on a good face and be like nicer or whatever, more polite on a first date.
Yeah.
After that, it's kind of open season, because I'm not going to invest my time or make you invest your time in something that's fake.
Right.
It's still a little bit odd to me how fastly it progressed, mainly because they were both in relationships and then engaged like 2 months later. And that makes me question whether or not that wasn't going on.
A little overlap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like a little Alda Snow type situation.
Yes. Because literally both of them had broken up with their other significant other in like the week before the rumors surfaced that they were dating, which is crazy. Shit doesn't happen that fast.
Yeah, that's.
I would almost guarantee that they were messing around.
Maybe. How old is Ariana Grande?
Like 22? No, she's got to be older than that, right? Like 23?
Yeah, is she the older one in that relationship?
I think so, because Pete Davidson is only like 22, huh?
Yeah, I think that he's a young man. I don't know. It clearly seems to me like
two idiots,
two crazy kids, being that one of whom has an absolute shit ton of money, and what could possibly go wrong? I don't know. I think that though, if shit hits the fan there, he's gonna have a real rough go of it.
Yeah, like I am more concerned about him if things go wrong than I am concerned about her.
Oh yeah. She'll be. I mean, she's
first of all, she's got the money.
She right, but she's also she's got a job where she can fucking tour and do whatever. She can really consume her time.
That's true.
And also like if SNL's out of season,
also
then
Heartbreak transfers way better to music than I would say that it does to comedy.
Right, yeah. Comedy doesn't need any more depression.
Yeah.
You're usually all set with the depression without adding in heartbreak. Although I made this observation, I think that that our best episodes of Brunch were when I was generally in like a way darker place, which is weird.
You're being pretty selfish by having happiness and light in your life.
But I don't know. I think I've actually noticed recently. I think that I have backwards seasonal depression because I've been having more rough days, just like the last couple weeks, and I'd honestly, not to brag, I'd been kind of killing it for a little bit as far as not feeling too terrible about myself, and now I've had more of the grumps and the blues in the summer, which is kind of backwards.
The spring was difficult for me.
Yeah,
like I had my fair share of pretty bad days in terms of just like for no reason, just felt like absolute garbage. And I think it's maybe lifting a little bit, but definitely I had issues in the fall. Usually that's when it comes, and it's definitely seasonal
right,
depression.
And then it goes through
This is the first year that I've been like, and it's the spring. I don't really have an excuse.
Maybe we're syncing up.
Yes,
maybe
like girls on their periods.
Yeah,
nice.
So the ladies will love that joke we made. I'm sure
we're just like you.
Good, yeah. Hey, check us out. You like that? You love that joke. Yeah, maybe you had seasonal depression in the winter, and then when my summer seasonal depression kicked in, that's when you linked up with me. So you're getting a little double dip there.
Nice.
And yeah. Ooh.
Great transition.
What do we think of Jurassic Park? The Golden
Knights.
The Golden
Chalice
Parks.
We saw Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, and to be honest, I really fucking liked it, which was a major surprise to me because I did not like the first one bit.
That's crazy to me. I thought that this was good, not amazing.
I didn't think it was amazing.
Bad. Yeah,
I thought it was highly enjoyable. And
it was a good watch.
Pretty much what I wanted.
It was an entertaining watch that didn't really get going for the first half hour, but I think that I was thrown off by not knowing exactly how long the movie was going in, because I was like,
what, 2 hours and 7 minutes? I think.
I think it was a little over 2 hours. I was guessing that it was going to be closer to 2 hours, and
it did feel longer.
It took a little while to set up, so I was like, oh man, I was just constantly kind of checking in to think like, is this the shit going down, or when does the shit exactly go down? So I was a little out of sorts throughout the movie, but
I'll agree with that. Like, it felt longer because I was like, is this the final act? Is this the final act?
Because there's a part pretty early on that seemed kind of like it could have been like that. I don't know, like 45 minutes, an hour into the movie that they're on this island and there's all sorts of fire going on.
Yeah, there are like two stages of the movie. There's the island stage, and then there's the off-island stage, which basically happens at this estate. Yeah, and I for sure loved the estate part. I wasn't crazy about the island part. It was as expected. The best thing that I can say is that it wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be on the island.
So the island part is they have to get these dinosaurs off the island, and the estate part is they have to save / rescue those dinosaurs from bad people. And the island part is basically Baywatch. It is nothing but fire. All the dinosaurs you've come to love,
there's
plus 100% more fire.
Yes, there's
everything's
a ton of fire,
on fire.
Ton of lava.
There was a fire dinosaur. There was a dinosaur on fire.
Yes. Tons of explosions. Tons of like fiery meteors coming out of the volcano.
Jumping just out of the way of fire.
Yes. Yeah. Tons of that, and just 98% sprinting. Just sprinting away from fire.
Yeah.
But one of the best parts of the movie, I thought, was the visuals. Like, the visuals in this movie were spectacular.
Yeah. Mainly.
So many awesome shots.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Stuff that, you'll notice as the movie's going along. You're like, wow, awesome shot. Awesome visual.
And there's only so many ways, or you would think they would run out of ways that A, a dinosaur can eat someone, and B, someone can escape a dinosaur. Chris Pratt had a really cool escape of a dinosaur.
Jumping through its mouth.
Yeah, he's trapped in a pretty small space with the dinosaur, and he just basically rolls along a wall through its mouth as it's trying to bite him.
You know what he did? It was sort of the move that is similar to in a cop movie where the cop slides across
over the car.
hood.
Yes, exactly that, except it's a dinosaur. One thing so this was not my favorite Jurassic Park movie. I probably preferred the last one.
Really?
Yeah. I thought the last one was better, but I was also more excited for the last one because it had been a million years, and now this has been 2-3 years. So
right, and so I was definitely more excited for the first one, and maybe that's why I felt so disappointed by it. Mm-hmm. But I just think that this one, it was more satisfying, and there was less bullshit to cut through in this one than in the first one. I
will say there are very few scenes where there's just a million fucking dinosaurs running around, and that was basically the entire last one.
Yeah.
It was just, all it was dinosaurs are all over the park, oh, they're flying around, blah, blah. There was only 2 or 3 pterodactyls the whole movie.
And there was a lot of awe in the first one. It was like, wow, look at the park, look at these dinosaurs, all these fucking all these unsuspecting humans that are at Jurassic World, when you know that shit is going to shit,
right? And
you're just waiting on that. And it was I felt like the buildup was too long there. It was a lot of bullshit to cut through. This one, it was, things had already gone to shit, and they get right into it.
Well, I was going to say, there's one thing that these movies can do that no other movie can do. And it's why I'll always be in the mood to watch a Jurassic Park movie.
Fucking dinosaurs,
they show
man.
a bunch of bad guys, and all the bad guys are together, and you get to think in your mind, at some point, a dinosaur is going to come in and eat all of these bad guys. And there is a scene in this one where they're auctioning off dinosaurs, and you're just like, man, I can't wait till dinosaurs come in here and eat all these bad guys. And spoiler alert, that's what happens. It rules.
That's why I was so shocked that I was disappointed by the first one, because it's like, I just want to go to the theater. I want to see some big ass dinosaurs fuck people up.
Yeah.
And somehow I just felt unsatisfied by what I was given by the first one. This one, very enjoyable watch. The dinosaurs are cool. They mess some shit up, and it's fun to watch. They're creative about it. The visuals are great. One of the things that I saw, because this isn't getting very good reviews from critics. So one of the criticisms that I saw was that the dinosaurs aren't scientifically portrayed correctly, and there are
half of those species aren't real.
Historical inaccuracies. And I was like, maybe there are people that care about that, but for me, it is very similar to the ships from Dunkirk. I don't give a fuck if the ships are real. I don't give a fuck if the dinosaurs are historically inaccurate. I'm just watching to be entertained, and
you think that
I want to see them do cool shit.
You think that if there were real dinosaurs fucking walking around volcanoes and shit, that it would be a one-man job for Bryce Dallas Howard? I think that there would be 6 million people that they would have all sorts of
the National Guard.
Right, it would be a big thing. It would. Bryce Dallas Howard is very qualified at her job, but I can't imagine that she's so qualified that she can do the whole thing by herself. A little note on Bryce Dallas Howard: the billing on this movie was problematic.
What do you mean?
Chris Pratt is the first lead. No, he's not.
Bryce Dallas Howard is the star of this movie.
Is the
Also, did you notice? On Bryce Dallas Howard, one of the biggest criticisms in the first movie was that her heels,
she was wearing heels,
running through the fucking jungle in heels, which was very stupid.
They got her in boots for this one.
But did you notice that they got her in boots, and they made it very fucking clear that she was in boots? It was that was, to me, was like a big fuck you to the critics and everybody who criticized that.
Really?
Because in the opening scene where they show her. They do
They show her from the heels up.
Heels up. Yeah. Close up on the heels. Then they tilt up. And then when she arrives on the island, she steps out of the plane.
Yeah.
Close up of the boots.
A lot of from the ground up shots with Bryce Dallas Howard.
So I kind of laughed at that. It got a chuckle out of me.
I love Bryce Dallas Howard. She's just so ridiculously pretty. But all in all, great performances. Jeff Goldblum was in it.
Very shortly.
His role was he was giving testimony, And I don't know that his testimony is a thing that actually happens in real life. He was just sitting in a courtroom in the middle of it and just kind of being a philosopher.
Yeah.
And I want to be like, is a judge going to hit his gavel and be like, hey, sir, what are we saying here?
I don't know. Is that technically a courtroom?
I had no idea what that was.
It felt more to me like a political thing. Like a political meeting hall,
okay,
more so than a courtroom.
So he was at a town hall,
basically,
and was going nuts.
Yeah, so his involvement in this movie was very limited, which is surprising to me because he was sort of billed as, hey, the return of Jeff Goldblum is going to be a big part of this movie. I didn't necessarily think that it detracted from the movie that he wasn't in it. He served his purpose. He might be involved with the next one more so than this one. Yeah. Because this was sort of a setup for the next one, which the next one, to me, very intrigued.
Right, because, they basically set it up to be like, all bets are off. Dinosaurs are just now among us.
It's like a Planet of the Apes sort of with dinosaurs.
Except no Mark Wahlberg.
Speaking
of local celebrities, this movie made me think of Dane Cook because he had a bit, I forget what the joke even was. His nightmare is that he's swimming in fiery water, and every time he sticks his head up, a guy punches him in the face and tells him to get back in the water, and then tells someone else to cover up that spot of water with fire. There's a part where they're experiencing that. They're all underwater. They're trying to get back up, but it's all on fire. So I spent probably minute 35 through 120 thinking about Dane Cook and whether we were all that foolish to really like him or if maybe he just was funny back then.
I think that he was funny.
So did I. I think that
he was for sure a douchebag, but he had some good material.
He was just an absolute clown.
Yes.
And clowns can be funny.
Yes. His delivery was great.
Well, he was just the most animated fucking person in the world.
So you mentioned the cast and all the performances were good. I thought the performances were good, but I still feel like the chemistry between Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt is not that good.
Who do you think's hotter, Chris Pratt or Bryce Dallas Howard?
Man, they are both really hot in terms of. I would say Chris Pratt, but it's not by much.
Yeah, I go Bryce Dallas Howard.
It's not by much. I love redheads. I think you know this about me.
Okay.
Bryce Dallas Howard is fantastic.
Nice. Have you seen season 5 of Arrested Development yet?
No.
She's in that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. And did you say Isla Fisher is in?
Isla Fisher, yeah.
Isla Fisher? Isla?
Yeah,
Isla
they play
the island's called.
Yeah. They play sisters. And they're all at a barbecue. They're all at a cookout, and Ron Howard is wearing an apron that says, "Howard, do you like your burger?"
Oh God,
it's pretty great. He's just a real.
That's got to be the worst thing about being a redhead actress in Hollywood is that they always have to play each other's sisters. Like Amy Adams plays Isla Fisher's.
Oh yeah,
sister
when do they
in
play
Nocturnal Animals?
Oh okay, yeah. I knew that they had crossed paths before. I used to honestly.
Like every redhead in Hollywood has at one point played a sister of another redhead in Hollywood.
Yeah. I wonder if they go into auditions and are like, hey, I'm going to be an only child.
You think
that's
it's
okay?
Yes, you think it's
don't say the Indians doing accents.
I wasn't going to say Indians doing accents, but like in that scene from Master of None season 2, where like Aziz is trying to get parts, and in every audition that he shows up to, it's always the exact same people in the waiting room.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if it's like that whenever there's like a redheaded part, where it's just like all the same fucking redheaded actresses.
I don't know. I bet that I have no idea, but I bet people can audition being like, I'll obviously dye my hair if I get this.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's like that's something that you can do. Jessica Chastain, by the way. Wow. That's my peak, I think, for redheads in Hollywood. She is the bit of belated movie news. She's the grown woman from It, the grown-up version of her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So she'll be her in the adult movie.
I've got some... I found some old cards I have from past episodes of Brunch where I've got notes. Let's see if any of these are any good. Love, Simon, I have written down on this one. Must have talked about Love, Simon. I was perusing the other day. I was perusing the on-demand thing. Love, Simon, Rotten Tomatoes is like 90% on critics and viewers. I didn't hear a single person say that they liked Love, Simon.
Yeah, I'm out on Rotten Tomatoes, to be honest with you. There are so many. I know that Rotten Tomatoes isn't like its own rating system.
Yeah,
but for some reason, all of those get so fucked up.
Yeah.
What would you guess the Jurassic World 2 is at on Rotten Tomatoes?
76.
55.
Oh,
that is very, very low. Like if I'm consulting a rating scale at this point, like, you know, when you Google a movie and it comes up with a bunch of different ones, I'm much more going to IMDb or like Metacritic.
Yeah.
For this, and I think these ones are like IMDb is 6.5 out of 10. I don't have too much of a problem with that. I might throw it at like a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Just based on my expectations for this movie. But Rotten Tomatoes is even lower now. Rotten Tomatoes is a 53 and Metacritic is a 59.
Trash. Just listen to us.
Yeah, like it is it's an enjoyable movie with dinosaurs running amok.
Yeah, definitely worth seeing. What movies do we have next? We're starting to get closer to Mamma Mia and what else? There was another
Sicario
one.
2.
Well, Sicario 2 comes out next week, right?
Yep.
Or this week.
Good call.
Happy Monday. But there was something else that I kept seeing previews for, and it's like mid-July.
I want to see Mission Impossible.
I'm not interested. I haven't seen a single Mission Impossible movie.
I haven't seen any of like the newer ones. Actually, I don't even remember the last Mission Impossible that I saw, but I don't give a fuck because this new one looks amazing and all the trailers are fantastic. I think that the trailer with Imagine Dragons Friction is the best trailer of the year. I've said that numerous times, but the new one just looks incredible, and I'm going to see it no matter what. There were a shitload of previews before Jurassic World 2.
Yeah, I remembered what the movie I was thinking of is Skyscraper.
Oh, I'm definitely going to see that.
I'm seeing that. I'm gonna be. If an advanced screening comes up for that, I'm for sure going to that.
I cannot wait for that to be The Rock's 98th consecutive mediocre movie.
The cool thing about that movie is he does all this crazy shit, and he's doing it on one leg.
Yeah,
he's doing it on one leg. Like halfway through the preview,
make that pretty clear.
They remind you like he like cleans his leg or something.
Well, because
they remind you
they had to do that because otherwise, if you give the guy two legs, it's basically Die Hard. So if you take away one of his legs, it's Die Hard, but with a guy with one leg.
Here's a question: Is what's it called? Is Skyscraper a 4th of July movie?
Ooh, good call, huh?
Yeah. Let the debate begin.
Also, I am very, very excited for Creed 2.
Yeah, me too.
Did you see Creed 1?
I had Human Clay and My Own Prison, and then I had the one. What was the one that had "Hello, my friend, we meet again"?
I don't know.
It's been a while where we began.
I don't know. I didn't see Creed 1. I just read the book.
'Cause when you are with me, I'm free. I'm careless, I believe. Above all the other, we're flying. And in the tears to my eyes, my sacrifice. When you are with me, I fly and bring tears, I believe. Above all the other, we're flying. And a tear to my height, my sacrifice.